Things are about to get crazy between the U.S. military and the various cartels. And I keep telling people that we're going to have a little mini war, if you want to call it that, at our southern border. But not just that, we're going to have little skirmishes and small military operations throughout the world wherever the cartel is operating. As soon as Donald Trump labeled them a terrorist organization, I already knew what the plan was. The plan is to drone strike the living crap out of these people. And Elon Musk has basically confirmed that as well. So I know for a fact that things are going to get ugly, but it's going to take time. You see, here's the problem. We have all heard the saying, Rome was not built in a day. We've all heard that before, right? Rome was not built in a day. The problem is, we all have heard that, but a lot of people obviously didn't understand the meaning there. You see, Trump has only been in office for a little over a month, okay? Not everything is going to happen all at once. Things take time. Hell, Kash Patel just got confirmed as the new FBI director like a day and a half ago. So right now, what is happening, now that we got, the military is ramping up, Trump is making moves, we have a new Secretary of Defense, and everything's getting in order right now. But we are in the early stages of what is going to be a pretty interesting operation against these cartels. You see, we have spy planes and spy drones flying over Mexico as we speak. They've already confirmed some of this on national news, so they're not even hiding a lot of this. But there's also other things happening behind the scenes that you're not going to hear about. But right now, we are conducting operations. We are collecting information, collecting intel. We're taking pictures. We're scoping the cartels out currently. We're basically mapping our targets, painting our targets out. And the strikes will come somewhere else down the line in the near future. Maybe not even the so near future. It may be a while, but I can confirm they're already out there getting ready. They're finding where these people are, where their headquarters are. They're basically finding the prime locations that they need to strike to cripple the cartel's operations. But you see, the cartel is not a military. They may have equipment like the military. They may be more well equipped than a lot of the militaries throughout the world, for sure, and more powerful than certain militaries throughout the world. But, when it comes to taking down the cartel, it's harder than taking down an enemy military because you don't know exactly sometimes where these people are operating out of. And they also operate amongst the public, amongst civilians as well. So it's a sticky situation. But right now, we're just in the process of gathering intel before the strikes come. I want to go ahead and roll this clip, though. They talked about this on the news for just for a few moments. And after I roll this clip, of course, I'll be right back with more thoughts.
We're seeing these Reaper drones quite literally on the hunt in international airspace over in Mexico, looking for the criminal drug cartels and their fentanyl labs. They are ramping up their operations and combating these criminal organizations, something that the president, of course, promises to designate them as a terrorist organization. So these are called MQ-9 Reaper drones, and they're out there carrying out these stealthy, covert missions. And they are not currently armed, but they can be equipped with payloads for precision strikes. The CIA, however, has not been authorized to use these drones to take lethal action, officials told the New York Times, adding that they do not envision using these drones to conduct airstrikes. For now, the CIA officers in Mexico are passing information that is being collected by these drones to Mexican officials. They are adamant about finding these fentanyl labs, dismantling them, which apparently emit chemicals that make them easier to find from the air. And that's why they are doing this from the air with these drones, because of that access. Now, the CIA has reportedly flown surveillance drones to hunt cartels inside Mexico before, partnering with Mexican authorities. But here's the deal. With the more recent flights that were communicated to Congress, they were actually under the Trump administration using a particular notification that's reserved for new or updated covert programs that the CIA intends either to conceal or deny. That is what a source familiar with the matter said, adding that the notifications made no mention of Mexican partners this time around. So we talked with Darren Gobb. He is a geopolitical strategist, a U.S. Army veteran, and a former Black Hawk pilot, about the CIA's covert drone missions in Mexico. Take a listen to what he said.
For the most part, I do not want to see America trounce on its own constitution and just invade a foreign nation without a well thought out concept of how you get there, and having the people of this nation accept the risk through Congress to do something. Now, I'm not saying that we would decide to, quote, invade Mexico, but if you're crossing the border into a foreign country with the U.S. military forces intent on accomplishing something like that, that looks a lot like an invasion. And you've just changed the situation significantly.
Now, Nicole, when it comes to the Mexico side of things, President Sheinbaum, she was pressed on these drones breaching that airspace over in Mexico. She kind of played it off today during a news conference, just saying it's part of a little campaign. Now, when it comes to the president, he, of course, day one said he was going to crack down on the criminal cartels. This week, Nicole, we expect the president to make that formal designation of that terrorist organization for at least 6 cartels and gangs over in Mexico, Nicole. So we'll be waiting for that this week.
All right, so Allie, let's talk about your report yesterday. Border Patrol had stopped using body cameras because of possible detection by criminals, but it sounds like that move is already now being reversed.
Yeah, an about face already just a few days after that initial alert was sent out, telling Border Patrol that they needed to stop using their cameras right away. And it was because of a couple of reasons here. So one of the reasons was that these cameras actually emit a radio frequency that can trip off improvised explosive devices. The other issue was that there was information circulating on social media, quite literally giving a play-by-play on how to kind of tap into these systems and find out where these agents and officers are. So right now, Nicole, I have reached out to Axon, who is a manufacturer, and also to Border Patrol to find out what the fix is, because today they said the stand down is lifted. They are now set to resume normal operations and wear those cameras again. However, I haven't heard from Axon or CBP on what the solution was or how they're mitigating this risk. Nicole?
I'm going to go ahead and just put this warning out there. You could take it or you could leave it. But I'm going to go ahead and put this warning out there early, because I can already see the writing on the wall, and some of you all already know where I am headed with this one. No American in their right mind should be traveling to Mexico right now or anytime in the near future. And that's nothing against Mexico. That's nothing against the people of Mexico. But when the hammer is brought down on the cartels, and it's already being brought down in certain ways, no American wants to be in Mexico, because the cartel obviously cannot stand up to the might of the U.S. military. We all know that. So the cartel is going to be looking for bargaining chips, meaning the cartel is going to be looking for hostages. The cartel is going to be looking for leverage. The cartel is going to be looking for Americans that they can snatch up and use to their advantage as this war is being waged against them via or from the U.S. military. All right? This is no different than all types of other situations that we see around the world. You could take a look at what's happening, with Israel and the Palestinians and Hamas and Gaza. You could take a look at everything that's happening. For a fact, that's going to be one of the main tactics that the cartel uses. There's a lot of dumb Americans that don't know any better that are going to be vacationing, living it up in Mexico as the U.S. military is waging war against the cartel, and they're going to be snatched up and they're going to be used as hostages. I could see it now. It is coming. Do not be that person. That's all I'm going to say. But like I said, hey, do what you want. All right? You could go to the beaches of Mexico. I'm sure it's beautiful. They got a lot of good food, nice women, whatever. I understand. But folks, you're going to have a target painted on your back if you go there. And listen, Americans are already targeted sometimes there. But now, now that the cartel is being cracked down on by the U.S. military, they're going to need something. And what they need is going to be you. So, like I said, do not be that person. But for now, I want you to be the person to drop a comment down below and share this video on social media. While you're at it, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next video.